All right, so what we're gonna do here is replace the latch of the battery and insert a thicker rubber gasket, and this is gonna prevent the battery from having a loose fit inside the stem of the scooter, which helps, allows for a little bit more of a secure connection between the battery and the controller. You can also do this if you damage your latch on the battery itself, because you'll need to replace this top piece either way. But for this video, we're gonna show you how to do both. And your first step is just removing these protective rubber caps, where you'll access 4 Phillips head screws, one underneath the battery label right here. And again, this is a protective case, so you're not going to actually have any access with the lithium batteries themselves. We're just going to be modifying the outside case of the battery. So once you have all those screws removed, this should pop off relatively easily. And then we're going to remove the thinner rubber gasket to make room for the larger one. So when you're taking this off, just try to make sure you get underneath the whole thing to make sure it doesn't rip, because then it'll be a little bit harder to take off if it's broken up into pieces. And then under here, you have a protective layer of silicone and a plastic covering that holds the battery pack in place. So you're not going to remove that. You don't want to get in there and disrupt any of the cell configuration. So really all we're going to do is just pop this new piece on here. It fits in exactly like the old one. And then you're going to go back in with those same screws. So once you have this on, you'll notice that obviously it sits up a lot higher, and that added thickness is what we want in order to keep the battery in place more securely. But it also means that it's going to be harder to insert and remove the battery from the stem of the scooter. You know, in most cases we recommend once this battery goes in that you don't take it out. But if you do need to make it easier to take in and out, you can trim some of the rubber around the gasket area to kind of make it more flush with the case of the battery. And in that case, usually we'll just use a razor blade to come through and trim that excess off. All right, you can kind of go around the whole stem of the battery and do that same thing, and it'll make it a lot easier to get in. But yep, that's it. So just 2 parts that need to be replaced. And when you're putting the battery in, it's going to require a little bit more effort to make sure everything's lined up. And you'll have to push in a little bit harder given that this is going to be a thicker fit, but that's it.